Hello, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Farmer Big Z, and welcome back to episode 38 of my challenge series on Mars the Mission. We are finally in March, and we have a little bit of chicken feed to get over to the chickens before we get to planting. Now, as we make our way over and start to feed our chickens, let's talk a little bit about what happened last episode in the months of February and maybe a previous month. I can't remember. I gotta do better jobs at taking notes on what happened. But either way, let's crack at it. So, last episode was mainly down to mowing. We mowed some grass and we turned a lot of that into hay, and then just a little bit of that into silage as well. Now, after we mowed, we went around and we sprayed down some fertilizer and spread some pH. We spread some lime down as well. So both of our, or I guess I should say all of our 3 grass fields are now perfectly balanced with pH and as nitrogen rich as they need to be. Okay, let's get that one topped up and let's go do the next. So that was a pretty good one. Now I need to start being a bit more maybe conscious or deliberate with my grass. At first I was just kind of throwing grass anywhere and everywhere, and I had a ton going into the BGA and I was feeling pretty good about that. But now as we have full grown and full capacity, both cows and sheep, I do need to be a little smarter on how we are making grass, what we're turning it into, whether it be hay or silage, and then just making sure that I get the highest yields because things are getting a little tight. Not too tight that we can't manage, but I think a little closer than I would prefer them to be. Ideally, we have a little bit of backlog, a little bit of surplus every month or every mow. But recently, I think the last 2 months, they've both been a little short. So we have to do a little bit of fixing on that now. One thing I did want to take care of was one way to make our grass a bit more efficient. So let me focus on backing up here first. Dump this excess wheat down into our seed production. And let's just pull over and jump into our store. Hopefully something's on sale, something that I'm looking for. But if not, we'll just buy it. It should all work out for us in the end. So scroll, and no. Ooh, I've always wanted to use one of these. Maybe on a bigger farm, on a bigger save, but today, not what we're looking for. We also do need to keep in mind that I would love to have a larger... Ooh, this might be the time. Let's take a quick look to see what a large case tractor, combine harvester looks like. Ooh, 400. Oh, wow. Okay, you know what? Another thing I need to buy. Typically and originally, this was a case colony. I don't know if I could keep it that way. This X9 being on sale is pretty significant. You know what? First things first, let's take care of what we came here for. So I want to see how, I know it should, but I want to see how this works. So let's go down or up to grassland care, and I'm going to buy a 12.3 meter roller. Yeah, we'll keep it pretty standard. Nothing on this is going to change. Do they have Michelin tires? No, they do not. So that will be good for now. Okay. Now, can we pull away from our case? Should we pull away from our case? I'm going to think about it for a bit. If anything, that should last at least the rest of the month. So I'll do some thinking, and then if anything, I may grab this, put a little green on Mars, and we'll keep moving forward. So that roller that I just bought, hopefully, if I understand it correctly and how grass rollers work, after you harvest grass, the grass on, let's say I harvest grass in March. Where am I going first? What am I doing right now? So I need to start getting ready to plant. But if I understand how this works properly, after you harvest grass, let's say I harvest grass in March, on the ground, the grass should sit at a, what's going on here? Oh, I am terribly misaligned. The grass should sit at a, like a 0 out of 3, a harvested state. Ideally, if I understand how grass rollers work correctly, once we roll the grass in March, we automatically go straight to the first stage of growth, allowing me to mow fully mature grass a little sooner than just waiting on it to grow and pop up naturally. I don't know if any fertilization benefits are going to come from that. Let me stop rolling as I unfold this. Or maybe I'll just roll a little slowly. But yeah, so I don't know if any fertilization benefits are going to come from it. But either way, it should at least start getting us grass ready to mow a little sooner. Now, we are playing with seasons, and that means that the grass goes dormant and doesn't grow during the winter. So there's 3 months that grass is essentially just sitting around doing nothing. And I've noticed that when we harvest our grass, if we try to get it, let's say we start in March and we try to get it a full 3 growths before the winter starts, it never finishes in time. And just like we had in February, last episode, we end up mowing grass that's only at a stage 2 or a stage 3, depending, I guess I can put that GPS point down, depending on how things turn out. So this should fix some of that. I do still plan to fertilize my grass and lime my grass a lot more frequently, but this rolling should give me a direct benefit. So that is good. And that is where we are now. Kind of flashing back to what we did last episode, outside of mowing grass and spreading down some lime, spraying some fertilizer. Ooh, I don't want to miss that. Let me back up. And let's just shift that GPS line quickly. Okay, so that's good. So yeah, outside of what we did with the grass fields last episode, we also went around and we sold roughly 13,000 liters of honey for about $28,000 if memory serves me correctly. And then finally, we just loaded some wool into our trailer in preparation for it to sell soon. If I go to this screen, we can see wool should be ready in May, maybe April. And we have a good amount of it, and we have a solid dollar value amount of it as well. So that is what we are moved on to. I am considering buying a second trailer. Sometimes when I'm balancing the wool, the honey, the chickens, and sometimes even more wool or more eggs. Did I say chickens? I meant to say eggs. Either way, when I'm balancing all of the pallets I'm producing, sometimes it's a little unnecessary to be running around, moving things around, and making room for more to spawn without properly putting it somewhere. So I'm considering buying another trailer. The trailer only cost me, I think, $20,000. If I run over here and I go to, I think this, yeah, $30,000, which in reality isn't much at all. So that's what I'm planning to do, but I am going to hold off, see how much or see how badly I end up needing it. On the docket for today, obviously we have some sunflowers that we're currently planting down, and we're going to plant that down in both the upper and the middle strip that we're on right now. After we do that, we're going to dart over to the lower cube, maybe the upper cube. and we're going to put down some more sunflowers in one of the cubes either way. Now, once we finish planting sunflowers, we'll continue on to plant some potatoes in the other cube that's unplanted. And that should be pretty much good, pretty much it. Yeah. I think we need to move some silage into our cow pens, depending on how that silage is coming along. It should be done by the end of month, but either way, that is what we have for today. I'm going to fire up a quick montage of us putting some seeds down into this land. And as always, I'll be right back. Okay, and we are done with all of our planting and seeding. So we put down 40 acres across 3 different fields of sunflowers, and then we just wrapped up putting another 10 acres of potatoes down in the lower cube. I almost was able to put down all of my potatoes using this one planter here, but unfortunately it wasn't full when I started, and I wasn't able to go the entire stretch on, I think it was about 80, maybe a little less, 85% maybe. So I had to fill that back up with some potatoes from our root storage area. So our number shouldn't have dipped down too much, but that is where we are now. I decided I just want to start leaving things a little bit more orderly and tidy. It helps me to find things when I'm looking for them. But all of our fields are now properly seeded, planted, and they are growing. If we swing over here, the only thing we're not sure about yet is our sugarcane. It's not any different than it has been for the last few months. But I am looking at this menu here, and sugarcane is due to be planted this month, or could be planted this month. So what I'm hoping is that next month in April, we start to see a bit of growth out of this field. If not, we'll call the experiment a bit of a wash, and we'll just plow it in and maybe do something else. But I'm willing and hoping that something comes through, and I'll just wait for it. So what do we have to do now? We need to go finish taking care of our animal pens, and particularly our cow pen needs a little bit of silage, and then we also need to go and blow some straw into our bedding area. So I'm gonna swing over here, grab our forks, because we do need those, and then just do a little bit of bale moving. Let's take a quick peek at the grass. We should be expecting our roller soon, maybe next month. Plenty early in terms of harvested. Is this ready to be rolled? I can't remember. When did we get grass? Everything is just blending and merging together at this point. Yeah, we got grass in February. Yeah, we came in and we got grass in February. I'm just gonna let it grow. I'm not sure. There's so much going on, and there's so much kind of repetition going on as well that once again everything starts blending together. So I'll leave it as it is now, and then if anything next time I will, oh, a little bit of a lift. If anything next time I'll be ready and I'll roll this grass down. Let's see, is that going to take all 3 of them? Yes. And how much room is left? Silage is at, yeah, we should be able to put at least 1 more in, and I think we have a balanced amount of straw bales, or silage bales rather. We'll give some time for our automatic feeding robots to clear the way, because up next we're going to put some straw down in the bedding area. Okay, so it took the silage, nothing left over, but that's okay. All 3 of our product bins, our product bays are looking pretty good, pretty full, and I'm sure our lanes are full of TMR as well. Let's actually take a look to see how much, what am I looking for? Where are my cows? Cows, there we go. Straw is pretty low, so I'm gonna go grab some more. Hopefully it's enough. Okay, so I grabbed 3 bales. We have 3 bales left hanging out in the bale storage area. And I'm really hoping that this is enough to get me over to... Ooh, is that gonna fit? Is that gonna drop in? Yes, I think so. Yeah, that should work out. Not the prettiest, but the way I backed in didn't leave me much option. Okay, and we needed to use all of our bales. All of the bales that we had in our bale storage area are either now in bays to feed the cows at some point eventually, or in the bedding. Or I guess they're also kind of 2 bales in this straw blower. But we are officially out of bales. Hopefully we can last until the wheat is ready to be harvested. And I think we will, but we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. Okay, so something else that happened is my tractor is in desperate need of some repair and maintenance, so we're going to head over and get that done now. After that, we're going to call it a day in March, go for a little nap, wake up in April, and then get some fertilizing done. We have 4 brand new fields that are ready to be fertilized, totaling 40 acres. 40 acres? No, 50 acres. Totaling 15 acres, 2 15-acre fields, and then 2 other 10-acre fields as well. Outside of that, we may be able to sell our wool early, but we're just going to have to wait and see what those numbers look like. So I'm going to get this maintenance done. I'm going to call it a day here in March, and then I'll see you all soon in April. Okay, so this puts a slight damper on what I had planned for today, because it is raining. I'm still yet to check to see how long this rain will last, but I figured I might as well grab my brand new grass roller and bring it over to where it needs to be. Okay, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's look at the forecast. Okay, so it should be raining for the next 2 hours or so. Not too bad. And then while we're here, yeah, nitrogen needs some work. That's expected. Same thing over here. That's expected. Okay. Is there anything else I can do? Oh yeah, I can go check to see if my wool. Let's check on the wool. Wool. That is... Ooh. That's not bad. I might just sell some. Might as well pass the time, sell some wool, load it up again, and just get it out of the way. Now, where do I want to put this grass roller? Let's leave the grass roller over by our grass fields. Not the best storage, but we'll throw it over beside our mowers and our tedder. I think that's a decent idea. And then from there, we'll head on over to the wool dome. The wool dome. It is a wool dome, but we'll head over to the sheep dome, grab the wool, and bring that over, see how much money we can make from that today. It should be, as the time-saving stock check mod says, it should be 192,000. Hopefully we can get that up to 200,000 after bonuses. So we also have some manure we'll be able to move. And if manure is stacking up that high, we might also be able to move a little bit of slurry as well. Anything to pass the time and just get a little bit of room in some of those areas. That is not the best reversing. Let's fix that. Okay, that's much better. Before we swing on over, let's actually take a quick look to see what our silage, our slurry levels are at. 39,000, let's call it 40,000 in each. Yeah, 40,000 in each, and then another 57. Yeah, that's plenty. Let's get some BGA action on the road. Should I do that first? Yeah, let's do that first. I'll do that, get that done. Nothing too interesting to see here. Just driving some manure over and then driving some slurry over as well. So I'll get that done and I'll pick back up with you after that is complete and I am on my way to sell my first round of wool pallets. Okay, we're good to still drive on this. I should move over though. Okay, so it is now 11 o'clock. Roughly 1 hour since the rain has stopped. I didn't think it would take this long, but Lo and behold, here we are getting it done a little later than planned. I didn't even finish with all the wool, now that I think about this. But that's okay. A little bit of extra wool, I'll try to remember to take care of that before the end of this month. So we did move 2 full trailers, 40,000 liters each, bringing in roughly $90,000 per full trailer. So that was pretty good. We brought in roughly $180,000 and added that to the pot. We then stayed on top of our BGA, filling that with manure and slurry, and that's going really well. Now all we have to do is start weeding these fields. Start fertilizing these fields. Once we get this field done, we'll start Marty, who's down over there waiting to go. We'll start Marty up on weeding these fields. There are some weeds in these fields, as you can see. And I just wanted to take care of that before things got out of hand. They are already at a medium, and I don't know if that's because we didn't plow or anything. No reset was done. But this is where we are, this is where we're at, and we are just continuing along, spraying and weeding as necessary. After this, I need to see if I can find a new or a better dairy. The dairy we have currently isn't quite cutting it, and I don't know if we're going to just leave the one we have in currently and add another one to our arsenal, but at minimum we need one new one. So we have a ton of milk. I'll see if I can pull that up quickly. So first off, we look over here, we still have 44,000 liters of milk sitting in our dairy, and this moves pretty slow. If we then fly over to our cows, we see that both are almost full at 48,000 liters or 50,000 liters apiece. That needs to change, and I strongly believe there's a way that we can benefit a bit more, make some more money, instead of just selling our dairy items, both milk and butter, in October. So I'll see what I can do, I'll see what I can find, but that's going to have to wait just a little bit until we get things under control. I know this clip has been a good amount of montages and music clips, but I feel like having you guys watch me fertilize 4 fields while Marty weeds 2 of them is not the most interesting thing to do. But I do want to show you guys the process of how this challenge is going fully. So, as always, I'm going to throw this into yet another montage, and I'm going to just keep getting at it. As always, if you are enjoying this, please consider giving the video a like, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, and we are done fertilizing 4 fields. Marty has already completed weeding his 2 fields. I did have to go back through and respray my most northern strip. Oh! How did I not notice this while I was fertilizing? We have sugarcane growing back into our 2 boxes. That's great. That's perfect. Man, how did I actually not see that? Must have got distracted in the sea of green over here, but this is great. So, sugarcane is back growing. Nitrogen and pH levels are perfectly balanced, perfectly up. That is fantastic news. Okay. So that is really good. Now, all of our fields are growing again, and things are moving along well. I don't know if I'll be able to double check this. Let me slide down over. Yeah, I don't know how much this holds. Because the issue is... The issue is I don't know how much free space we have in our colony food storage area to hold even more sugarcane. The sugarcane is actually kind of a lot. Like, if we are able to harvest those 2 fields again, we're going to be looking at another 2 million more liters of sugarcane. And that may be an issue. Let's drop this off and let's go see what our colony food storage area looks like. Okay, colony food storage. Let's take a look. So, how much does this silo hold is the question. And it doesn't want to tell me. Why doesn't it give me, like, this menu? Okay, well, I'll have to look in to see how much our total food storage area, this food storage? Yeah, colony food storage area can hold. And then you know what? I know how much it holds. I don't know how much it'll hold. I'll have to double check. I want to say it can hold at least 8 million, but I might be wrong because I don't know if this is set up to also hold 1 million of our root crops, which aren't ever going to be in here. So I'll have to double check that, but I won't bore you and I'll come back with the total amount. I will talk to the colony and we will get this 4th and furthest storage area removed. No need to keep it around. It might even be costing us money, so might as well tear it down. No benefit to our bank account. It will go back to the colony. But yeah, that's going to be it. This episode we covered 2 months, March and April, and it was pretty productive. Next thing we have up ahead of us is going to be probably harvesting, I would imagine, canola. Yeah, canola and wheat. Canola in our lower strip and then wheat in the chicken dome. Before getting to some potatoes in the following month of August. And then sunflowers later on in October. So things are coming along well. And once the canola is harvested in July, we should be good to start bringing in some pigs. We still have pigs, trees, and honey that we need to get after, on top of all of the other crops we're still looking after. So, these are our totals. Wheat is always going down, but it'll have to do. We'll plant some more wheat soon. I'm going to get some things put away. But as always, I want to thank you all for joining me along this journey. I'm Farmer Big Z. I hope you're all having a great day, and I'll see you next episode.